Hey, hey, hey. Hopefully, you all are having a wonderful evening right now. It is Friday Eve, and you know what that means that we gotta get to it. And what I mean by getting to it, it is time to get my reaction to a lot of stuff that's happening in the news. It's October 10th, 2024, everybody. We are pushing it through the year. And can you believe it's so close to the holidays and we gotta get our finances together? So today I'm gonna just do a full reaction to what's going on around the world, basically Beltway news. But before we get into it, let me just go down and get this intro out the way so we can get this money taken care of. Gotta pay the bills, everybody. All right, see you guys in a bit. Peace. You're listening to the About That Wallet podcast. We'll be right back after these messages.
Low credit score dragging you down? Score Boost by Smart Credit helps you maximize your score by showing you exactly how much you need to pay off and by which date to gain the most points. Pay less and gain the most points the fastest. And you can start just for $1. Click the link in the bio, save thousands. Don't wait.
Even the best and the brightest this world has to offer have coaches and mentors. Build strong money-making behaviors by applying financial concepts and strategies with Anthony Weaver on the About That Wallet Show. It's time to get off the bench and get in the game. Now, here's your host, Anthony Weaver.
Welcome back, everybody. So we have a lot that's been happening in the news, and man, I do not even know how we're going to work this out, but we're going to have to do our best because the first thing I do want to start off with is, as you all know, I started switching my audience and started talking about this sandwich generation. This is one of the key elements that is not being talked about enough in the financial industry. And one of the things that's been happening is that Kamala Harris did a great interview with Howard Stern, and shout out to Howard Stern. He's been doing great interviews, and I've been taking a couple cues from him, not from the controversial side of the house, but the way how he sets up his questions. But before we do all that, I just want to share my screen, see if I can get that in the right template here, because I do want to talk about what we are doing inside this particular industry that's not being talked about enough. So let me see if I can maximize that so y'all can see that. And please let me know if y'all can hear this clearly or not. So let me hit the play.
Credit for those with newborns.
Yeah.
And this is a real boom to people. This is stuff that would be, I'm a new grandfather.
I didn't know
I have
that.
two grandchildren, but I have a
new one?
A new one,
Uh-huh.
brand new.
Good for you.
And
Congratulations.
you know what? A $6,000 tax credit is saying you're pro-family.
And what does it do? It allows a young parents to be able to buy a crib, a car seat. That stuff is expensive. The stuff that is so
Yeah.
necessary for that incredibly important phase of their child's development. And again, the return on the investment is profound.
Yes.
Pro-family is about taking care of, like I announced today, what my plan to make sure that Medicare covers at-home elder care, because probably a lot of your listeners are in that sandwich generation.
Oh my God.
Where they're taking care of young kids and their elder parents.
My mother's 97 years old. I'm not even going to tell you how old I am. I know you think I'm 30, but I am so old. And I have an old mother, 97 years old. The cost is, people don't know this yet. If they're not taking care of somebody elderly, it will bankrupt you.
Absolutely.
It will
right. Or your parent will not get the care they need, or you're going to have to leave your job.
Right.
Which means you're going to reduce your income to, depending on what it is, almost nothing in terms of your household income, to do what you want to do, which is to give your parent the dignity they deserve with care.
And can you imagine if Medicare is impacted, or Obamacare for that matter?
And look at what Donald Trump has been talking about for years, and look at his Project 2025. People should Google it. I mean, what they're doing and what he's talking about in terms of attacking Social Security, Medicare, undoing the Affordable Care Act, and which means the insurance companies can come back and deny people with pre-existing conditions. All of this is very real and very much at stake in this election.
So I want to start off with that because that is something that is really impactful. And how are these presidents or these candidates to be president are planning to handle us as we age? Now, a lot of people say, like, well, Anthony, why are you getting into politics? Or why are you talking about politics? Your show is usually evergreen. Well, it's just that in this particular time, they actually are really talking about the generation to come and the generation that's currently here. A lot of the times people vote based on their children's children or their grandchildren or their grandbabies' grandbabies. This is who they are voting for, who they decide to vote on. My take on this is, how are you going to handle the people here now so that we can ourselves leverage a lot of the things that we currently have so that we can provide for our families today, so that we can leave a legacy of educational, financial wealth, financial education. The proper education is necessary. So, for some of you guys who are watching right now on X, come on over to YouTube. I would love to hear your thoughts on this, because this is a big topic. This is something that, we all live with. We all going to get to that age where either A, you're going to have kids to take care of the kids, and if B, if you don't have kids now, say if your siblings decide to pass, or when they pass, if they pass before you do and they have small children, how are you going to pay for them? I want you to think about that. How are you going to take care of them and also your parents at the same time? Do you have are you financially stable to support both? You know? So let's see what you got here, Valent Thor. You said hurricanes are the new COVID to encourage mail-in ballots. Now that's interesting that you're gonna say, you know, that's possible. The new COVID. That is interesting to say. That is interesting to see as well, because COVID uh, had brought up some opportunities. So, I mean, look at the hurricane now. It has brought up open opportunities to see where the gaps were at. It was able to provide, okay, well, some of these infrastructures have all of their generators on the ground floor. Some of the hospitals actually were able to have theirs up on the 13th, 15th floor of their hospital. Some of the hospitals aren't that high enough to have their generators and everything like that higher up. Some might have them on the roof. You know, things fly. That's why they call it a hurricane. So these are the things I want you to start thinking about. It's like, how can we change that model so that we can take advantage of these things, us as our current generation, as we move forward? So another thing that I want to bring up, moving on to the next topic, drug cartels are running it again. But remember, everything needs a partnership. And when I keep saying your first job, your 9 to 5, is your first investor. That's where you go to learn. That's where you go to operate. Now, this time, when you are dealing with millions of dollars, where do you go? You go to the banks, of course. And in today's news, we have TD Bank. TD Bank, I believe, are being fined $3.1 billion over money laundering. Folks, we can't make this up. It's like, how in the world is a bank going to partner in the money laundering? Are they getting money out of it? Who knows? What are they going to get? But what does that leave us who bank with this bank? Are we the ones losing out? I don't know. But we got to keep listening to this because this stuff impacts all of us. Let me know your thoughts. Do you bank with TD Bank? Are you still going to continue on? I mean, who's the money actually goes to if they were fined this money? But let's read on about it. TD Bank will pay almost $3.1 billion in fines and other penalties to face a cap on the U.S. retail bank assets after pleading guilty to failing to prevent money laundering by drug cartels, amongst others. Okay. People just don't wake up one day like, oh, yeah, I just want to launder some money. No, this is planning. This takes time. This takes education. This takes a lot of handshaking and meeting in person. So, what does this have to do with politics? Quite a bit. Because you got to think about, well, they can't just move the money themselves. And they can utilize a lot of things that's happening. So, perfect example. The things happening right now. We got the Hurricane Milton, which made a landfall Thursday night on Florida, bringing devastating winds, storm surge, and dangerous tornadoes. There were like 3 or 4 tornadoes that touched down in Florida. Nobody talk about those extra tornadoes. They just talk about the big hurricane. So while everybody's eyes on this way, there's stuff happening over here too. And that's what people are missing out on. And Florida's already taken up a lot. So what in the world is going on? How do we handle when things go bad in life that we're not prepared for? Now, again, I already mentioned the sandwich generation. A lot of the people who have older parents who are immobile, and how are they going to move them in such a devastation? Do they drop it? Like, do you, as a caring child, go out to drop everything you have to make sure that your parent come home safely or get to a safe place so that they can live? Then what if, not to get morbid with it, they get worse, their health declines, and they cannot go back to Florida? Are their estates taken care of? Did you have your emergency fund to handle such a situation? Does your parents have an emergency fund? Are there things taken care of like their social security? Did they make sure that all their estate stuff is planned out? These are the things that you need to have these tough conversations right now during this holiday season. Thanksgiving is only a month away. If you want to have a meet and greet, that's the time to have it. Some people are having early meet and greets because of the hurricane. If you're watching this right now and you're in Florida, please, 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 I'm hoping that you guys are doing okay. And I really am sorry what's happening. And for those of you who are watching now who are not in Florida, I want you to think about the different things that can come up as a disaster in your home. What are the things that can actually help you prepare for such a devastation? Let me know in the comments. Is this something that you're prepared to have? Are you prepared to have these conversations? And if you're not, it's okay, because this is what we're here to do, is help you have those tough conversations. What to say to a parent when they say, oh, I don't want to talk about money right now, blah, blah, blah. Well, you don't have to talk about money. You can talk about what are you going to do when things are going to happen. When things go bad, this is what you're going to do. Talk about the game plan. You can talk money later. Everything has a cost. So have the tough conversation now so that you can get prepared financially when it's ready. If your parent talking to the side of their mouth like, no, I'm good, Social Security got me, I got $1,000 in the bank, you can have that. That's not a good answer, but if that's their answer, then you're going to have to live with it, dive into it a little bit later when they have time to, or you can actually just have a moment to say like, hey, let's come back to that. We're going to enjoy our time here today, and enjoy the festivities and the food and so forth. so that you have that ability. And also for those of you who are taking people in, that's a blessing because a lot of people just don't have the space to take in their parents or take in anything else. And so these are the things that we need to start talking about. All right. So now we talked about the hurricane. We talked about uh, President, Vice President Kamala Harris and what she was talking about the sandwich generation. It's gonna slide on over to stocks. Let's see if I got a little bit of tunes here for the stock market walkthrough. Actually, you know what? I've been saving up a little bit of stuff on the back end just for these moments. I think I did. Yeah. All right, for the stock market. Let's see. Let's see. This is coming in from CNN Business. These are the top stocks right now that are going through. We have Nvidia. I'm only going to do a couple of these. So we got Nvidia price at $134.81. Change of 1%. And they close to the 52-week high, which is at 140.76 cents. The next thing is Tesla. Tesla has been holding strong roughly around the 240 range, but it's at 238.77 right now. And at a trading of volume of 83 million transactions for the day. And they close roughly about 3/4 the way to their 52-week range of 271. And let's see, I found one that I haven't heard for a while. We could talk about Super Micro Computer, which is sitting at $46, and they're at 41 million transactions for the day. So that's it for the market. It seems to be pretty nice today, and I just wanted to let y'all know that. All right, so video time. We're gonna do one more for Kamala Harris because she's talking about the caregiver story, because it's doing a little deeper dive into what's going on. All right, let's see what we got. Stop this music. There we go. And let's see what Kamala Harris had to say. And I believe this is on The View. Let me know if y'all guys can hear this.
When she was sick, she was diagnosed with. I took care of my mother when she was sick. She was diagnosed with cancer. Mm-hmm. And so it is a personal experience for me, as well as something I care deeply about. Taking care of a parent, that means trying to cook what they want to eat, right? What they can eat. It means picking out clothes for them that doesn't this soft enough that it doesn't irritate their skin, right? It means trying to think of something funny to make them laugh or smile. Yeah. And it's about dignity for that individual. It's about independence for that individual. Yes. I mean, people are of declining skills to some extent, but their dignity their pride has not declined. Mm-hmm. They want to stay in their home. They don't want to go somewhere else. Plus, for the family to send them to a residential care facility, to hire somebody is so expensive. To your point about being in the sandwich generation, there are so many people in our country who are right in the middle. They're taking care of their kids and they're taking care of their aging parents. Mm-hmm. And it's just almost impossible to do it all. So what I am proposing is that basically what we will do is allow Medicare to cover in-home health care. People say, well, how are you going to pay for it? Here's the thing. Here's how we pay for it. Part of what I also intend to do is allow Medicare to continue to negotiate drug prices against these big pharmaceutical companies, which means we are going to save Medicare the money because we're not going to be paying these high prices. Right. And that those resources are best then put in a way that helps a family like the one you are describing.
Which you have already done.
Which we have already done with insulin.
So again, this is something that we need to talk about. The sandwich generation, we're getting hurt the most. We're the ones that got to do all the work. And what is clearly the sandwich generation, the choose sandwich generation, is people that are anywhere between the ages, I believe, 45 and no, yeah, anywhere between 35 and 55, where your parents are anywhere between ages of 65 and older, and your children, I believe, are under 10. But either way, they're children under 18, so whatever. These are the people that we need to start focusing on, and we're hurt the most. And I'm glad that there's somebody out there talking about it and how that we can move forward with such a thing. Um, so let me know if you guys are a part of that sandwich generation. It's something that you guys talking about in your homes. Right now, I'm actually looking up because we talked about all the fun stuff. We talked about the heavy hitters, and I'm not sure if you guys know, but the lottery is actually going up. Did you know that? So, I think it's the Mega Millions sitting at $2. I remember when it used to be $1. Then they went up to $2. Everybody's up in their arms, like, oh, it's extra. And then they changed the odds by adding in these extra numbers. Now they're talking about raising it up from $2 to $5. Will you still play? Are you going to play? Are you going to play the Mega Millions? Are you going to play your little scratchers for $5? And they planning on doing this scratcher thing. Let me see if I can find a video about it, because it's ridiculous. For most people who like to play lottery, I mean, if you don't play, you're going to play, right? But are you really ready to pay that $5 ticket? Let's see if I can share this with you guys. Let's see what's happening on the interwebs here today. See what they're going to say about this lottery.
Some big changes are in the works for the Mega Millions lottery game. The cost of a ticket is going to more than double. The current price of a ticket is $2, and this ticket price is now going to go up to $5 to play. Lottery officials say it's part of a overhaul of the Mega Millions game. They say it will offer better odds. So like tonight, it's like 302 million, 1 in 302 million. So I think 1 in 150 million.
Wow, no.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you play? Larger starting jackpots that grow faster, more frequent big winners, changes to the game that's played in 40 states have to be approved by the California Lottery Gaming Commission. If the changes do go through, the new rules and prices will be adopted next year in April. If not, the game will no longer be available here in California.
That's crazy. So, question is, are you going to play?
I don't say this often to other men on the show.
Why are you going to talk about? Yeah, we don't need to know about Conan, because Conan's being Conan. So there's a lot of misinformation about FEMA, and I'm sure you guys heard about FEMA, and everybody's like, "Well, who's FEMA? FEMA this, FEMA that." Well, FEMA, in short, see what it stands for. What is FEMA? And we can say, let's say, learn about us. So, for those of you who didn't know, you just hear the word FEMA all the time. It's the Federal Emergency Management Agency, which deploys more than 20,000 people nationwide, headquartered in Washington, D.C., and they have 10 regional offices located across the country. They leverage a tremendous capacity to coordinate within the federal government to make sure America is equipped to prepare for and respond to disasters. So now we know what FEMA is all about. Now we can get to kind of go into why are people so upset with them and talk about all their failures and so forth. So let's see what they had to say on the news. Let's see what they got. Again, like I said, this is my reaction video. You can take it or leave it. We have some fun today.
It's an irresponsible and relentless promotion of disinformation and outright lies about what's going on. It's undermining confidence in the people of Florida.
Why do you think Trump is spreading misinformation?
I don't know. I simply don't know. You can speculate, but I just find it, I've used the phrase more than I've used it ever in my whole career, un-American. It's un-American. It's not who the hell we are. What are they talking about?
Now, this is so predictable. So Floridians are focused on survival, not politics. But Democrats and their media lackeys were busy with another type of disaster relief today, a rescue operation for Kamala's campaign. As they have so many times before, they're trying to deflect and even silence their political opponents. And Kamala seems like she's desperately trying to turn the page from her underwhelming media tour, so she jumped on the disinfo bandwagon.
Are we concerned about any misinformation or disinformation regarding evacuations that we need to clear up at this point?
There's been a lot of misinformation out there, Madam Vice President, that's for sure.
But what is all of this misinformation they're so worried about?
Former President Trump has led this onslaught of lies. Assertions have been made that property is being confiscated. It's simply not true.
Oh, wait. Where did Biden find people saying that property is being confiscated? Well, after some digging, we found the White House sourced a single Twitter account with fewer than 5,000 followers for that bit of misinformation. So if anyone is amplifying disinformation from fringe sources, it's the Democrats themselves and Biden. Yet with battleground poll numbers trending toward Trump, the pro-Harris media, they're panicked, they're frustrated, which means a return to the echo chamber.
Okay. So it's a lot of things that's going on about the back and forth on this thing. Let's get to what actually happened. Far as what FEMA is really saying, because right now it seems like there's a lot of speculation. Let's just talk about exactly what's going on. So trying to find good sources of news or just people just reporting on what actually is going on. It's kind of tough because everybody got something to say. But, here we are. Let's try this one.
Yeah, Kate, I've had an opportunity to talk with the governor today, as well as his team, and then give the president an update on what we're seeing. And I think what we know for sure is we avoided that worst case scenario that we were planning for. But the fact that they prepared for the worst really made sure that they were able to respond to the impacts that they have experienced. And the biggest ones right now are the tornadoes that have been reported across the state. I think the last number I had was 38 confirmed tornadoes. And the biggest storm surge was certainly in the Sarasota area, but not as much as the catastrophic storm surge that they were predicting, but still a significant amount. They're out right now doing assessments, the state is, and we've pre-positioned resources to be able to come in and help the state with whatever they need. Yeah, from what I understand from the state is that is a typical location that they do stage resources to support response, but they also know what the wind level is that it's rated for. And when the storm shifted and they saw the increased winds that were going to go over that, they just moved them to some of their other staging areas around the area. No impact to the response here for the first responders. And I think the most important thing is they recognized that it was in that path, it was going to exceed what it was rated for, and they moved all of those responders to safety. Here in Florida, here in Florida. It means that doesn't mean that there's not going to be impact and resources needed, but not to the level that perhaps we could have needed. We've done multiple catastrophic events like this in the past. That's why we have a layered approach to our staffing, and we plan for this. And so we had moved resources from some of our non-life threatening open operations to be able to support what was going to potentially be needed here in Milton. And now we're going to continue to work with the state to help meet not just the Hurricane Helene response and recovery efforts, but now Milton. We already had 1,000 people in the state supporting Helene, as well as the other disasters, Ian and Idalia, that they had the previous years. And so we'll see if we need to bring anything in addition to what we already had to support now what they're seeing from Milton.
All right. So they talked about what exactly is going on, what they see on the ground, and you got to commend the people that are volunteering for this. And some of you were like, "Man, I really wish I could do something. I really wish I could support FEMA and what their efforts are, and how I can actually be part of that process." So FEMA is nice enough to actually provide all of their information on their website, which is FEMA.gov/disaster /recover /volunteer dash donate. Now, with this information, they actually are providing a best way that you can volunteer to kind of support. So they saying cash is best. You can go here and look at their disaster relief, because you got to look out for these scams. There's a lot of scams in every disaster. There's always somebody trying to take advantage of you and your money, because they always want something out of your pockets. But it's up to you to actually give your money away to the people that you really want to. So there you go. All right. So we got kinds of donations that they look for. They actually look for, um, not everything is needed. Used clothes is never needed. I'm like, bro, what if you only wore it once, and somebody could really need it? I'm sure if somebody's out there butt naked right now, they will take a shirt, a pair of sweats, or something. Like, give some loose clothes. Like, obviously you don't want to get them stained or whatever, but at least something that you wouldn't mind wearing again or giving to somebody else that's lightly used. Bulk donations are best. Pallet loads, like, who got a pallet of one item? All right, so if you got pallets of items just hanging around, you can give it to them. Timing is important. Too soon or too late, and no one wins. Okay, so I guess they will probably work with you on providing these donations, and transportation needs to be worked. Um, how you get to where it's needed. So they do say, do not deploy to disastrous areas. Make sure you don't go out. Just don't ride down to Florida, be like, hey, I'm here to help. Coordinate with certain people, organizations, and they have links so that you can do that. And also, is it a short list actually? So they actually say that if you have any questions, you can just shoot them an email at FEMA donations unit. Like, they have a link here for you. And if you do the mail to, which is down at the bottom right here, bottom left actually, is donations at FEMA.dhs.gov if you want to actually donate, or if you have questions, if you're a nonprofit as well. So this is your time, and if you really feel like in your heart in need, let's do this. Now, that is something that I wonder if I can actually create a GoFundMe page to actually help support, and all this money will actually go through the FEMA process to help go to the people that are in need. I haven't thought about that yet. I might have to reach out to FEMA to kind of see exactly what is that process and what does that look like. Because disasters happen all the time, but you also want to be able to say, like, hey, I want to be there for the next one to support and help a family that's in need. Remember, this is a government entity, so they don't get anything out of it. And they also have a lot of grants as well. So if you have a business, or you just trying to be helpful for FEMA in the future, they actually have different grants here that you can partake in. So one of them is called the preparedness grants that they have. They have hazard mitigation assistance grants, resilience grants, continuing training grants program. So if you're a teacher and you know how to do lesson plans, this will be a great opportunity that you can actually do this on the side, make some money, and also help people in the same time. And I'm curious about this because I know how to write lesson plans. So let's take a look. They got let's see, training. FEMA continuous training grants program awards to help. Let's see how much money they talking here though. Yeah, we got all this stuff down here. Oh wow. Okay. So for those of you who turn your nose up to grants, which means that you don't have to pay this money back, you just got to do the work that's allotted. FEMA said for FY 2024, the total funding available for the fiscal year, which means that it ends October 1st. So they got to wait till FY 25 come out. They had $14.4 million. Okay. In this particular program, the CTG program had $5.4 million grant money. Again, the CTCG, like this is how it's broken down. If you have cybersecurity preparedness, if you have a program on how to teach people how to secure their networks, $7.2 million. Who says computers geeks don't have all the fun, right? Another one, Alliance for System Safety of Unmanned Aircraft Systems through Research Excellence. So that means if you know how to fly a droid, like you know, a drone or whatever, and you know how to secure it and make it safety and know how to use it properly, they're giving you $1.8 million. Can you use $1.8 million? I can use $1.8 million. I'll teach the heck out of somebody. I'll learn a drone class real quick. In that classroom, like, yo, I'm paying all this attention. I'm writing up all the grant money. I was like, I'll need that because some of these grants you can write in there to say, like, hey, I need to take this class in order for me to be successful in delivering what you want in this grant. You can write in your income. How much do you want to get paid inside the grant? You can write in your health insurance. You can write in where you want to go. These are the things that I want you to start thinking about. Like, there are a lot of grants out here. It's just that you got to apply for them. And they tell you, they usually walk you through the different grants process, the grant process, and also how do you partake in it. So preparedness, everybody know how to prepare. They prepare for work, right? Are you part of these nonprofits in the urban area? I am in the urban area. Yes, I'm the whole area of the urban city. Yes, that's me. Really? No, I'm a podcaster. Let's see. Podcaster. Is there a podcaster on here? Yep. Oh, by audience. Who is eligible for the grant? All right, let's see. Urban area. Homeland Security Grant, nonprofit security grant, transit. Yeah, it seems like you already got to be a nonprofit. If you're a nonprofit, that's perfect. So I'll say have at it if you're a preparedness grant. But man, I'm telling you, there's no shortage of funds when it comes to that. Because remember, we playing offense now. We gotta make some money. Now, speaking of offense, I want to see if I can find this video because I thought it was actually pretty entertaining. Gavin on stage. Cricket. Okay. Don't see it. All right, I gotta go to Instagram. So you guys, let's take a small break. I'm gonna play a video from my last episode, so that you guys can see that and let me know what you guys think. Because again, we talked about FEMA is happening. We got a lot of stuff going on, and I really want to make sure that you guys are being taken care of. So, because of that, let's take a small break. While I take that break, just go down and listen to some of the background stuff. Be right back, you guys. And please share my screen. Boom. That there.
That builds up into thousands and thousands of dollars of tax-free money that can be accessed while you're alive. So my husband and I, for example, we took $40,000 out of a life insurance policy and we invested in real estate. And we started out with residential real estate and rentals, but now I invest in commercial real estate like hotels and apartment syndications. So That was how we used it. But I've had people use the cash value in their policies for emergency loans. I've had them use them for investments in their own businesses and other things that they needed for their family. So it is a nice additional source of money when you want to get creative and you don't want to go to traditional lenders for whatever reason. You can go into your insurance policy. So that's the simplest way to explain how it works.
Welcome, everybody, back to another exciting show, the About That Water podcast, where we help you find that confidence by building strong financial habits so that you can actually talk about money, spend money, and actually enjoy your money. Today, I have a wonderful person who's going to help us with our insurance. And one of the things about insurance is that a lot of us really don't know about it. But this person is a financial coach, a hotel owner, podcast host, and also a life insurance producer today. She is committed to helping people find financial freedom and build wealth, and how that we can be better at our finances, and not just our finances, but our estate planning, and really looking into how we can outline our futures. So I really wanted to bring you on. It's about life insurance and why is it important for the Black and Brown community?
Oh man, this is super, super important because people need to understand that there are two things in life that are guaranteed: death and taxes. And so let's prepare for death, because the taxes we really can't get around. So I really want to tell people, think of life insurance as the way to provide for your family when you're no longer here. Because if you think about it any other way, it gets a little, people get nervous or scared and they don't like to talk about death. So I like to talk about, would you want your family to be okay financially if you weren't here? And if the answer is yes, then you need life insurance. And so that is why I really go around and I educate people about it, but also encourage you to get it. And it's really important that you have life insurance outside of work. But more specifically, when it comes to communities of color, this is critical because it can literally change the trajectory of a family's life. It can also be what makes or breaks the family after a primary breadwinner passes away. So, being the fact that 52% of Americans have life insurance, which is great, that's more than 50%, most of them don't have enough or wish they got it sooner. So for those who don't have insurance, I hope this encourages you to get it and understand why you need it. But for those who do have insurance, I hope this conversation encourages you to review what you have and see if this is a time to get more.
So that was actually the latest episode that was released from the About That Water podcast. And the cool thing about it is that Kwania has been on the show several times. So if you actually are looking to have more deeper discussions about your insurance, please hit me up, let me know, so that we can go down and get you linked up, or just kind of hit Kwania up. She's all tagged up, links everywhere. So you can go down and check her out. Check out her website as well. I did finally find the link that I was looking for. So Kevin on stage, I'm going to use this as my last bit because I've talked about this and a lot of you guys been turning your nose up but haven't tuned in enough. And I talked about how you can actually make money while you're sleeping through Etsy, because the holidays are coming up. And some of you guys were like, well, blah, blah, blah. You're just talking outside of your mouth and blah, blah, blah. So what I did was I saw a video from Kev on stage, and he was talking about how his wife was able to utilize her crew cut. Super excited about this cutting machine. And the beauty of this cutting machine is that it allows you to cut anything you want. And then you can paste it on whatever you want. And because you can put it on whatever you want, this is why it's amazing. So let's see what he had to say about it. Let me make sure that I make sure sound is available. Share this screen. And let me see if I can do it this way. Okay, let's see what Kev got to say. Make sure I unmute this.
My wife bought a Cricut machine and she is on a rampage. Just look how happy it made her. Look. Okay. I never heard of a Cricut machine. I didn't know what it was. Now we got heat press mugs. She got all kind of ideas. My son wants to run for homecoming prince. She put this up. She gonna make him the Burger King of the school if he lets her. We went to Hobby Lobby today. I ain't been to a Hobby Lobby, which is just an arts and crafts store for adults. And I don't know how long, probably since I was in high school. She got the Cricut, she set it up in the baby's room. Y'all ain't praying. Ain't nobody praying for me. And the thing about the Cricut is, once you buy it, all the ideas come to you. You don't gotta go in with the ideas. Upon purchase, you like, I could put this on the shirt. I could put this on the mug. The Cricut gives you ideas. It's like going to Target. You don't need to know what to buy. Target will tell you. Same thing with the Cricut. Y'all, my wife bought a Cricut machine.
So, with that being said, I went on and already had a video for you guys talking about how to create and sell digital products on Etsy. And because I was able to do that, I'm going to re-show it to you guys so that you can see how easy it is. Now, keep in mind, this was about a year ago. So, let me know if you guys actually go back and watch it. I'm going to put the link inside the chat here so y'all can watch it all over the place to watch it again, because I did a step-by-step walkthrough of how to set up your Etsy account, how to set up your Canva, how to create everything, because the holidays were coming up. And I think this one I was selling like digital products. Oh, you know what? This was a calendar. Okay. This was just something like a budget thing that you can do online so that you can sell it on Etsy. But this is what I did a year ago. And I'm going to show you guys the quickness about how it was done on Etsy right quick. I think we did some research on it, on the different things. You know what? I ain't going to go that far. You can watch the video, watch how I set up everything. And yes, my eyes are scrunched up because I was trying to see on a small screen. But let's go to Etsy. I'm going to check out Etsy because Etsy is pretty important. We all know the holiday season is out, right? We want Halloween. Halloween is around the corner. We want Halloween for Cricut. For Crit Cut. I think that's the way how you spell it. So you got all these little popular things, right? 80 cents is what somebody doing. $1.29, $1.83 for all these little things that they can get. And look at the file name. It is an SVG bundle, right? 4 people already took care of it. Now we can actually filter by popularity. Not most recent, top views. Let's go with top views, right? You using your Cricut machine, you know how to create an SVG bundle. This person right here is selling it for $1. All they did was put a little couple graphics on their little thing. And the bundle is a 28-pack bundle, right? You get in pumpkins, you get in potions, you get in bottles, you're getting hats, you're getting, like, this is very simple items, right? And they already telling you what you will receive. You'll receive a DXF, an EPS, a JPEG, PDF, PNG, and SVG. The reason why the SVG is important because this allows you to look in your Cricut machine, because the Cricut machine recognizes those things. So let's zoom in on what they have here. The Halloween SVG bundle, which is layered Halloween SVG bundle, like they putting all this stuff in here for SEO purposes, right? They didn't do anything special. They just said it's digital file, digital download, and whatever it's made for crafts. Now, people said that they loved it. If you have $1 and you have a business, you can use this as a business expense that you're trying it out. They even made it a 70% off deal because it's the holidays, right? Perfect time to do this. However, can you still squeeze this in until the holidays? Yes, because you know with the Cricut machine, you can print it out immediately. However, for my show, please let me know in the comments if you guys want me to create or show you how to create something simple, just like this. And you can use your Cricut machine to print it out as much as you want to. Some people even put God in there and faith to actually show that this is a fall for Jesus. He never leaves. Clever, right? And this is the file. This is all it is. And they're talking about this AL or AI format. So you can put it on mugs, you can put it on shirts, put it on anything you want. You got a shirt for it, they got it, right? And all they did was do this. You can take a screenshot of this, use Canva for the whole process. Let me know if you guys want me to do an overview. I can do another one because I will create the heck out of some Canva stuff and you guys can make some money. Canva's free. It's a free tool. You can utilize it today. And that's my takeaway for today is that if you guys really want to set up your Canva account. So this is my Canva account. You see all my stuff. I create all these thumbnails from Canva. However, I want you to start making some money from Canva. Canva's free. That doesn't mean that you don't have to not be free to get your stuff. And sell them for $1. That's all you need. Put up 10 of them. Take the weekend. You can use your cell phone to use Canva. The stuff is simple. Very easy to use. Very mindful. Very generational sharing of education and information. This is what I'm here for, to help you guys out. So I want to thank you all for listening in to the About That Wallet show. I wish you all the best and continue to make some money. Stay helpful, stay healthy, and stay very mindful. Y'all be safe. I'm out. Peace.